Firstly, having conversations as early as possible when you get family involved in the business is preferable. If people know what are the boundaries or what are their expectations when having involvement within the family business, it just makes sure everyone's on the same page and there's no upset later down the line. With that in mind, always worth having investment of time with a solicitor to go through paperwork if required. Things like, if you're an employee, looking at employee contracts, if the family want to have some involvement within the ownership of the company or some sort of clear succession planning, certainly looking at things like shareholders agreements and articles of association if you're a limited company. But in any event, it's forward investment within the business, making sure the appropriate paperwork is in place. So if there are any fallings out, which hopefully there are not, but if they are, there's a clear plan in place and it just makes sure everyone's got the protection they need.
I think that's very true. When, again, as with any business, but it's more important with where there's a family or friend relationship involved, when you're starting out and everyone's excited and everyone's happy, the thought of spending time and money with a solicitor to get the documents sorted can seem like an unnecessary expense, but time and time again we see it's so important, particularly when there has been a fallout, the wheels have come off and you're trying to sort it out. Hopefully, if you'd invested in that documentation beforehand, you wouldn't have got to the point of having a dispute, because it would be clearly documented what expectations were and how things were to be dealt with. But if we do have the documentation in place, it can far often be a lot easier and therefore cheaper to resolve the disputes. So having looked at the risks and the downsides of having a family business, being in a family business, in business with friends, from a personal point of view, I get a lot of pleasure having Will in the business. I think it helps that we're in different offices and that our roles are vastly different, so we don't have that much direct contact. What have I just said? We hardly see each other, we get on really well. But I think you get the point where I'm coming from. I think if you do give some thought as to how it's going to work, you're not treading on each other's toes, it does help enhance and not put at risk what is obviously a very important relationship.